What if we have a product like this, like an energy supplement, and we want to create a video commercial using AI, but for a real person? So let's say this man in this photograph is an influencer, and we want to create a commercial around him where he is being interviewed and asked for his feedback related to this supplement. Then how can we use VEO3 to create a realistic looking AI commercial like this one?
So what's your feedback on our energy supplement? Did you like Power Fuel?
Yeah, right. I've been very impressed by it. It's helped me out a lot. Before I started taking it, I would just procrastinate everything, be slow. But now it's just taken my energy, my intensity, and my progress to a different level altogether. I feel like a new man. It's tough to even describe this feeling. Oh yes, Power Fuel was a game changer for me, and I highly recommend it.
It's not just a supplement. It's fuel for champions.
So let's see, this entire process is going to involve the usage of some different AI tools along with VEO3. The best part is that all the tools will be free, or at least you can use them for free quite liberally. Only one of them will be completely paid, and that anyway will be optional. The links to all the tools as well as the images, as always, are given in the description. So first of all, let's see all the steps involved in this process to create this AI video commercial. So the first step is that we will have to create all the frames which will ultimately be turned into videos. So basically creating the images using some different AI tools, as we're going to be seeing. Once we have these images ready, one thing that we are going to realize is that the quality of the final video will really improve a lot if we can make these images look even more real. That means add some realistic texture on the skin of the people and just make the overall image look really sharp and nice. Here we will be using a software which can do this with a single click. Once that is done, we are going to move to the next step, which is we'll start to generate the prompts for VEO3 to turn these images into videos. Remember, in VEO3, the prompt is very important because the audio is built in. So whatever you write in the prompt regarding the dialogue, that will automatically come into the video. There's no lip syncing, there's no external voiceover. Once we have our prompts ready, we'll of course start creating the videos. And one of the issues we will face is that the audio is not going to be consistent throughout, because we have this one man who'll do the majority of the talking, but if there are different frames which have been turned into different videos, his voice might vary. So the final step will be we'll have to find a way to make the audio consistent, so there's only one type of voice in the audio. I'll also be showing you that towards the end. And then finally, we put everything together to form the kind of video that you saw. So let's start off with the process, because the first thing is we will have to start creating those frames or images. So the video that you saw basically involved the usage of 5 different frames. So let's see all these frames. This is the most important one because this will come twice, right at the start when he was speaking and towards the conclusion of the ad also. So I'll show you how to create something like this in Flux Kontext, which you can use for free. This was the second image also created inside Flux Kontext, or rather the Flux Playground, where you can use Flux Kontext. Same for this. This was actually a real image, so I didn't have to generate it. Just used a free outpainting tool by Pixelcut just to extend this on the sides, because the original image was basically taller like this. So this was already done for us. And finally, again, I used Flux Kontext to create this particular image for the can. So what I'm going to do right now is let me show you how to do this for the first frame, because the process that I'm going to show you remains exactly the same for each of the other frames also. So let's start this process. So to create that first image, the first thing that I did was I went over to ChatGPT. I uploaded both the images of the product as well as that man. And I said, give me a prompt to create an image where the man in the second image is being interviewed by a woman so that it looks like an ad for the energy supplement in the first image. They should be standing in a studio which has a design similar to the product, because I wanted some of the branding, logo and all to be there in the studio. The woman should be wearing formals and the man should be wearing athletic wear. And this is what ChatGPT basically gave me. So I took this, and the next part is to create the image. For this, I will be using Flux Playground. So once you create your account here, you can use Flux Kontext and get up to 50 free edits. You'll find the link again in the description. Just make sure you go to generate under image. We're going to paste in our prompt here, and then we will upload again both the reference images, the man as well as the product. And also I will leave this prompt in the description so you can directly just copy this. So now both these images have been added here, and we're going to select Flux Kontext Pro, and in the settings, remember we will be turning this into a video. So 16:9 is the best for that. I think 2 variations should be more than enough so that we don't waste any credits. And we're simply going to hit generate, and let's wait for the results. All right, so you can see that this looks pretty good. So let's just open this up. And you can see this looks like the same man here. If you see the second variation, maybe another person has been added. That can sometimes happen. So sometimes you'll just have to keep generating till the time you find something really good. I think this first one was good because another thing that you have to notice is the consistency of the product, the way it has been placed. And because we had typed in things like, the brand should reflect in the studio. So if you see the background here, we can see the logo, the name of the supplement, some of these supplements kept in the shelf. So Flux is absolutely amazing when it comes to this. However, you have to remember one thing about Flux. Whenever you add reference images, and especially more than one reference image like we have done here, the quality of the image goes down. So you do start to get a bit of the AI look. So after generating a couple of images like this was the image that I really liked, but it still had that AI look. So let me show you when I zoom into it. So this was one of the images that I got out of Flux Kontext. Really love the composition in this. Everything just looked absolutely perfect. However, if I zoom in, you can see that this does suffer from a bit of pixelation and that polished AI look. So even though the next step is optional, you either can use a free upscaler to do this. Just go to Google, type in free AI upscaler. You will be able to just do that for free. However, what I want to show you, even though it is paid, I feel it is right now the best way to add some real looking texture along with the upscaling, which is to use a tool called Enhancor AI. Now, Enhancor AI is not free, neither do they give a free trial. So this is a paid approach. This is going to cost you $9 a month minimum to access this. And the moment you create your account, you see this enhanced skin interface, which is there by default. But I actually don't recommend this to add the texture back to the skin and make that AI look more realistic. What I would suggest is what works better is the Enhancor AI upscaler. So if I go here, just remove this. Let me add that image here. All right, so our image is here. I'm going to select the fast mode. It'll cost me 350 credits. I can just tick this option that says, yes, my image is a portrait so that it doesn't change the face too much. And then just hit upscale image. And this actually works better than the enhanced skin tool which Enhancor has. So let's just wait for the results here. All right, so our result is ready, and just have a look at this. So if I just expand this, this is what we started off with. And just notice as I drag this slider, just notice the difference here. Not just on his face, but even things like his arms. Just everything looks much more real. Sometimes it can produce a change in the face. In this case, we don't mind if the face changes because this person, we didn't need to maintain the consistency anyway. In case that is important, you sometimes might just have to do this 2-3 times, and one of these 2 or 3 images, you will definitely get an image where both the faces, it does maintain the consistency. But right now we're interested for the consistency in this part, and I think this is very, very acceptable. But the best part is because this is going to be ultimately turned into the video, that automatically means now our video quality will be much better. So now let me get back to the frames. So let's just go through the frames again. This was the first one. This will be used twice, starting of the video and the ending of the video. Then similarly, I created this particular image. Here the prompt was very simple. A man doing shoulder press in a gym with the barbell. Again, use Flux Kontext, then put it through Enhancor AI. And you can see this looks very, very real. Here again, the prompt was simple. With the reference image, man jogging on the road. Used Enhancor to increase the realism. Like I said before, this was already the original image. We didn't have to generate it. Just used Pixelcut Uncrop It's a free AI tool that you can use just to add to the sides because I needed that aspect ratio. I'll leave a link to that tool in the description. And finally, for this also the prompt was very easy. The reference picture this time was the product inside Flux Kontext, and the prompt was cinematic dark shot of this product with lightning in the background. You can see Flux is very good at creating such images. So at this point, we had all our frames ready. Now it was time to move to the next part, which is to generate the VEO3 prompts. So for the next part, I again went back to ChatGPT because ChatGPT and VEO3 just go very well together. It just understands exactly what to write in the prompt, even to create those subtle gestures. So I again uploaded the frame. I said VEO3 prompt to turn this into a video where the woman is asking the man, so what's your feedback on an energy supplement? Did you like Power Fuel? The man says, I've been very impressed by it. It's helped me out a lot. And then I've just written add other things to make the movements realistic. And ChatGPT gets the idea. So you can see it gave me out a really detailed prompt here. It even adds things like the man leans forward a little, smiles and gestures, and all these things help VEO3 a lot. So we can copy this. And now is the part where we start to create the videos. And for this, we are going to be using Google Gemini because there you can access Google VEO3 Fast completely for free for up to 30 days and create 3 videos per day. So if you don't know how to get to Gemini and access this for free, I have described this process of signing up for the Google AI Pro plan, where you can access it for 30 days for free in this video. So you can check it out later because there I've gone into detail. I've also given you all the links that you'll have to follow in order to just make your Google AI Pro account. But once you do, and then you come back to the Gemini app like this, you will find the video option here and you will be able to use VEO3. And all you have to do here in this interface, like I've already done here, is just click on add photo because like I said, 10 days back, VEO3 has made it possible to use images and then turn them into video. So basically I add my image and then I already have the prompt from ChatGPT and you just paste it here and then you hit generate. If I do that right now, it's not going to allow me because I've already used my quota of 3 videos per day when I was making the videos for this particular video that you're watching. So let's just see the result here because, so you can see here, this was again the prompt, the image, and this was the result.
So what's your feedback on our energy supplement? Did you like Power Fuel?
Yeah, right. I've been very impressed by it. It's helped me out a lot.
So what's your feedback on our energy?
All right, you can see that that looked pretty amazing. It can even be more amazing if we were using the main VEO3 because here this is VEO3 Fast inside the Google Gemini app. And one of the downsides of VEO3 Fast is that it does just very slightly, it does add back the polished AI look on the skin. And that's why that enhancer step becomes very, very important. So we're really looking forward for the Gemini or rather the Google people to incorporate the real VEO3 here also, but at least we can use it for free. So now let's look at some of the other frames which were turned into the videos using the same method of going over to ChatGPT, asking for a prompt. And in some of these, I didn't even use a very elaborate prompt. For example, if I just scroll down, for this particular image, I just said camera revolving around man. That's it, just 4 words. And just see the result here. I mean, this was absolutely amazing. Obviously, this was a real image, so the point of that AI look wasn't there, but even just the way it has added the movement is absolutely amazing. And then there was one more video I generated here, which was using that same frame, the original frame, but the prompt changed a bit because this was the ending of the video where he says that, yes, I do recommend it. So this is where the ad almost ends. So there were just some changes to the initial prompt, mainly on the dialogue part, but everything else that we got earlier on from ChatGPT was used. So it was pretty much the same prompt with just the changes in the dialogue. And this was the result here.
So yes, Power Fuel was a game changer for me, and I highly recommend it.
And now this was the problem that I was talking about, that the voice is going to be different in both these videos. So we will have to find a way later on to make this consistent. And it's a very easy process as I'm going to be showing you later on. This was another frame. And here also just said, went over to ChatGPT, just said, give me an elaborate VEO3 prompt for a man running on the street. And you can see that it gave me out something like this. And this was really impressive because a lot of these image to video software, even the good ones, sometimes like Kling and definitely software like Sora AI and all, they really mess up the physics when it comes to running. But here you can see that it looked absolutely real. There was no jerky movement. It didn't look AI in any way at all. Now, at this point, I actually ran out of my free generations on Google Gemini app, but I still had 2 more frames to turn them into videos. So for this, I actually went over to Higgsfield because now, even inside Higgsfield, you can use VEO3 fast. So I went over to Higgsfield, and if you go over to create video, now for this, you need to be on the paid plan. So yes, this was not free anymore, but I just wanted to finish the process, so I ended up using that. To use VEO3 fast inside Higgsfield will cost you $5 per video. Okay, so let's look at the first video that I had created, which was for this. And here I had again just used a simple prompt, man doing shoulder press in a gym lifting a barbell. So in Higgsfield, you can leave this enhance prompt feature on. Okay, add your image here. So that time I had added this particular image, and do the same thing again. And under model, the only difference will be that we'll be selecting VEO3 fast, and you can see that it costs 80 credits. In Higgsfield, by the way, you can also use the real VEO3, but that's going to cost you 150 credits. So I ended up using VEO3 fast just to save some of the credits, and the results were pretty good. Even though this particular video, you're going to find out that sometimes even VEO can struggle with complex movements like lifting of a barbell. So just see this. So right now you can see that it just went through his face. So I obviously cut out this part, but something like this, I have tried this barbell movement in Kling and other image to video software out there. They just don't seem to do this right. So I was actually very impressed, barring the ending part, obviously. Then for the final frame also, I did use Higgsfield here, and I uploaded this as the starting frame. This was our last image. And here I just wrote a simple prompt that the camera starts to revolve around the product as the lightning keeps on going on behind. And obviously this is VEO3, so I can add the voiceover. So I said with a heavy male voiceover, which says the tagline, which is not just a supplement, is the fuel for champions. But I was not happy with the VEO3 results. So just have a look at this.
It's not just a supplement, it's fuel for champions.
So you can see it just did that whole rotation thing, which didn't look good. So for the last frame, I actually didn't use VEO3. Then I ended up using just the normal effects inside Higgsfield using the Higgsfield Lite model, which actually only costs 5 credits. And there I used an effect. Let me just show you. If I just hit this button, you can select the different types of effects here. And I had selected, so it was this effect, Thunder God. So I just selected Thunder God, put my image here, and then again, use that same prompt. And these are the kind of results I started getting. Now there was no sound here, but I extracted the audio from the earlier VEO3 videos because we had the voiceover there as well as the noise of the thunder, and I mixed these two later on in the editing software. So this was how all these images were turned into the videos. Now we still had one pending task before I could put them together in the editing software, which was to make our audio consistent. And for this, I used ElevenLabs AI. So let me quickly just walk you through that process. So this was a very, very easy thing to do. You can do this on the free plan when you create your account on ElevenLabs, because all you need to do is you just need to select this option that says voice changer. And I extracted the audio from that first frame where he was talking, the man he was talking about the supplement. You just upload that particular audio right here, and then you can select your voice here. So let me show you how that looks. So right now, I've done it for the ending frame where he was saying that, yes, I recommend this supplement. You select any kind of voice that you like, you probably feel is going to fit with the man who was in the video. So I selected this voice called Mark. And then you just hit basically generate speech, and it's just going to turn that into Mark's voice. And then you can
yes, Power Fuel was a game changer for me, and I highly recommend it.
And since you're changing the voice, there's no problem with syncing. You can put exactly after downloading this audio, just put it back inside the video editing software and replace the original audio. There'll be no syncing issues at all. And then I basically used the same voice even for the first frame, and the middle part of the video was created, that was just a voiceover. So that was created with text to speech. So if I go here to text to speech, just wrote the entire script here. Before I started taking it, I would just procrastinate everything, be slow, but now it's just taken my energy, my intensity, and my progress to a different level altogether. Again, use the same voice, just hit generate speech.
Before I started taking it, I would just procrastinate everything, be slow.
So now we had the same voice throughout the video, and I ultimately put everything together inside Premiere Pro, but you can do this inside any video editing software, and this was the final result.
So what's your feedback on our energy supplement? Did you like Power Fuel?
All right. I've been very impressed by it. It's helped me out a lot. Before I started taking it, I would just procrastinate everything, be slow. But now it's just taken my energy, my intensity, and my progress to a different level altogether. I feel like a new man. It's tough to even describe this feeling. Oh yes, Power Fuel was a game changer for me, and I highly recommend it.
It's not just a supplement, it's fuel for champions.
So you can see, not bad at all. The resolution is still a problem. We can obviously use a video upscaler to increase the resolution, but right now the videos that you get straight out of Gemini are standard definition. Hopefully they will allow us to even download HD and 4K videos very, very soon. And then the important part is that you know the process now. So once that comes into play, automatically your videos will even look better. In case this video helped you out, do give it a like. And for more AI editing based tutorials like this one, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you next time.